Aaron Judge hit a big home run against the Texas Rangers, solidifying his place as the guy in the American League, and he would be the man in the majors if not for Showtime Shohei Ohtani, who posted a .06 ERA. Just unbelievable pitching skills. Being a Dodger fan recently, very easy. But you know what? A lot of us were with them through many, many years of struggle. You know, half the outfield grandstands was me and my family out there eating hot dogs. All right, baseball. We're going to do some baseball picks this week, so tune in for the Pick 6. We're going to talk about a lot of things going on. Sidney Crosby, still maintaining, even with the threat of being re-injured, putting up 2 assists, saving the Penguins against the Flyers. I mean, just unbelievable the things that happened last week. Who else? The Pistons maintaining, giving the Orlando Magic a tough time of it. Lots going on. The NBA and the NHL playoffs are some of the most exciting playoffs in the world, right up there with the baseball and football playoffs. We're going to do our Pick 6. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, everybody, please hit that like button and subscribe button if you feel like listening to this show every week, where we do picking games for you in all 4 of the major sports here in America, which are football, baseball, hockey, and basketball. Don't know why I saved them for last. I don't know, but I've been doing pretty good in my basketball picks lately. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Okay, my favorite part of the show, the Pick 6. Let's see if we can keep it in the winners column. It's been exciting sports going on. And here Talladega just happened, by the way. We got to start talking about NASCAR pretty soon. And racing in general. I've always been a big racing fan. Fan of a lot of different things, as you can see from the t-shirt. Okay, Saturday, May 2nd, we're going to pick the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. Yes, this series, Boston leads 3-2. I checked. I don't believe they're playing on Friday, so Saturday is the next game. That would be, Game 6? Okay, the 76ers under threat of elimination yet again. This time they're going into Boston. It's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough for them in Boston. Can they stretch the series out? I'm going to go ahead and say no. The Boston Celtics close it out, beating the 76ers in Boston. That's Saturday, May 2nd. Check your local listings. The times were yet to be determined as of this filming here. All right, next up, it's an NHL game on Saturday for you, and again with a TBD on the time. Anaheim Ducks. Radko Gudas, my man Radko, going up against the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, this has been a heck of a series. The Edmonton Oilers down 3-2. Can they save it? They are at home. And the Ducks, they're coming in. They're coming in ready to try to take them out. But there's just something about somebody at home. It's a home ice advantage in hockey. So we're going to go ahead and pick the Edmonton Oilers this time. I've been picking the Ducks against them the last couple of games here in the series. But we're going to go ahead and pick the Oilers this time. Yeah, oil needs good news, especially since I was paying $7 for it earlier. All right, here in California. Okay, next we've got an MLB game. It's our first MLB game of the Pick 6 and of the baseball season. I believe this is the first baseball game we are picking this year. And I'm going to make it a good one. It's the Cleveland Guardians against the Oakland Athletics. I know what you're thinking. You said you were going to make this a good one. It is actually a good one. If you look it up, I believe the Oakland Athletics have a good record. Was like 22 and I'm not sure. Let me look up Oakland A's record. What's the standings, right? We don't edit anything out of here. Never. We'll see the A's are 17-14. Not so great, but you know what? They are on top of the AL West. The Mariners are 500, 16-16, right below them. And as far as the Cleveland Guardians go, They're also at 500, 16-16. We're going to go ahead and pick the A's to beat them in Oakland. You know, I'd heard some news in the last couple of years that the Oakland Athletics were looking to move to Vegas, I believe. I don't know what happened. We should do some research on that, right? Well, if there were only a device, you know, sort of a computer that one could look up facts about sports. Okay, so Sunday, May 3rd, to recap Saturday, the Celtics are going to beat the 76ers in Boston. The Oilers are going to beat the Ducks in Edmonton, and the A's are going to beat the Guardians in Oakland. We're picking all the home teams. Sunday, May the 3rd. Okay, all baseball games on Sunday. I'll tell you why. Because in the NHL and in the NBA, we don't know if these teams will continue on until Sunday. Those are sort of like the Game 7s are reserved for Sunday. Okay, so we're going to pick all baseball games for Sunday, May the 3rd. And by the way, that's only 1 week away from Mother's Day. Mother's Day now here. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. Just don't forget it. Please, mark your calendars. All right. The Milwaukee Brewers are going into Washington, going into the nation's capital to face the Nationals. You know, I liked the Brewers last year in the postseason. They were doing good. I think it was my hometown Dodgers that they ran into, which was their tough luck. You know, the Dodgers on quite a streak lately. The Brewers are going to beat the Nationals in D.C. I think that's what's going to happen. I like the Brewers. Next, we've got the Atlanta Braves against the Colorado Rockies. This is fun. You know, the Braves are doing real good this year. Dominic Smith, the Braves, I like them. It's one of the teams that I'm following in the American League that's a possible rival to my Dodgers. You know, I've always done that. I followed a little bit of the Cardinals before. I follow a little bit of the one team I really don't follow what they're doing is the Giants. You know, they're sort of, you know, if they're hot, they're hot, but usually it's not really the case. You know, but they've got a couple of World Series crowns, I believe, at least one, right? It's a tough rival. We're going to go ahead and pick the Rockies to beat the Braves. I know the Braves are doing good. They're 22-10, but there's a little bit of it feels like a trap game to me. I feel like the Rockies can pull it out up in the very thin air of Colorado. Okay, next we've got the Mets. I'm picking a game involving the Mets. Look at this. Both of these teams have terrible records, 10-21 for the Mets. And the Los Angeles Angels are doing bad at 12-20. All right, but I did want to pick this game because I do like both of these teams. I'm going to pick the Angels to beat the Mets in Los Angeles. I love their stadium there in Anaheim. It's a very fun place to go enjoy a game if you want. Dodger Stadium, a little different. It's like going to the Gladiators Coliseum, but you're not entering through the gates where the spectators enter, you know. It's like being a gladiator every time you go to Dodger Stadium. I'm just joking. Enjoy Dodger Stadium. I mean, just kidding. All right. So to recap Sunday, the Milwaukee Brewers are going to beat the Nationals in D.C. So we're picking an away team. That's the first of tonight. The Rockies are going to beat the Braves in Colorado. And the Angels are going to beat the Mets in Los Angeles. So basically, we're picking all home teams to win except for the Brewers. Except for the team whose logo is beer. All right. You guys enjoy this weekend's games. Have yourselves a fun time. But always, as always, please gamble responsibly. And, you know, sit yourself down with some popcorn, maybe a tri-tip sandwich. Anybody? Oh my gosh. Nice sip of coffee. I'm still drinking the toffee flavored Don Francisco coffee. You know, I really want to talk to you guys about a couple of things tonight. The Saudi Arabians are pulling their funding from LIV or Live Golf, which is kind of sad to see. Boy, you know, you don't want to see anybody go out of business if it's the XFL, if it's the USFL, if it's Live Golf. I mean, why would we want to see any kind of company that's operating in America go out of business? You know, whether they're from Saudi money or anybody's money, right? I mean, that's my view on the whole thing. Don't bother to leave a comment. I'm just kidding. Have yourselves, have at it. You know, it's nice to see King Charles in Congress. You know, Charles in charge, right? I mean, spoke very eloquently. You know, sounded like a statesman. It was almost. It reminded me of the days of George W. Bush. All right. Okay, so you know what? I was glad actually to see King Charles here. I don't want to see the relationship between the United States and England damaged in any way. I mean, who would want to see that, right? I don't know. I don't think having friends is a bad thing. I think having more friends is good, right? Anyway, talking sports here. By the way, Mother's Day is almost here, by the way, again. So make sure you buy Mom some grocery store flowers at the very least. You know, don't listen to her when she tells you, I don't like flowers. Don't buy me flowers. Don't get me a gift. Don't do it. That is garbage. Complete garbage. Okay, your mom wants a gift. All right? This is experience talking to you here, okay? All right. Yeah, but no, take care of her. Shout out to my mom. You know, she's been through, she had a rough last year, but it's been all uphill since then. Right? Yep. Hope everything keeps going that direction for you, Mom. Love you very much. Sorry, I had to burp. What a bad time. You know, sorry again, Mom. Boy, I'm used to saying that. It's going to be a big day for the flower shops, florists, Mother's Day. You know, it's always like Valentine's Day, always a big day for the, you know, who cares, right? Let's talk about the internet. Let's talk about influencers. By the way, I have been a very dedicated YouTube premium member for years, which means I have not been subjected to commercials, which is why people sometimes ask me about things and like, what? You don't know about the show? You know, I don't know. I can't even cite an example of a show that I don't know because I don't know. I don't keep up with the trends, with the shows, with the new movies, with anything because I don't watch commercials. Pardon. This show is completely commercial free. As you can see, I'm not doing any reads. I'm not like, you know, try the new, you know, men's socks. These are the best socks you're ever going to buy. This is the best mattress you're ever going to buy. This is the best, you know, try this razor. Try this new razor program. We'll send you 5 razors a month. Sign up to the Bearded Man's Razor Club, right? I don't know why a bearded man would need a razor. Anyway, but I don't do reads. And having premium is good because there's no ads, but then you guys, you know, you influencers, you corporate influencers, you people who are backed by corporations, are making me listen to some ad that I don't want to listen to. Who wants to listen to some ad? This is where I tune you guys out. As soon as you start shilling, it's called shilling. All right, this is what we call it. Normal people, like average, everyday, working people. We call it shilling when we see you guys doing it. Some of you guys, I've perceived, are worth it, right? Like it's worth listening to you because you are that funny. You are that cool or insightful. But it doesn't stay that way for long. Not with me. Listen, I came from a generation where we were, and this is how we will end the show, we were forced to sit down. We had 3 channels, 3 of them, and we were forced to sit down and watch commercials on endless loops. I'm talking endless. And then they'd throw out a little content, like, you know, here's back to the show, folks. Back to the show, right? But then just as you're starting to get comfortable, enjoy your show, back to commercial. And that's okay if you need to use the restroom, right? If you want to go get a bag of popcorn, if you want your Reese's Pieces, if you need a glass of Kool-Aid, right? But it's not a very enjoyable thing if you're really trying to get into a groove, trying to enjoy, let's say, music per se. MTV used to do it a pretty good job of it um, when they had video upon video upon video, especially late at night. But stop reads. Somebody's got to at some point take a stand and say that we shouldn't have any more reads on videos anymore. It's ridiculous. What are you guys on the Ed Sullivan Show? I mean, try new Tide. Back when Tide was new, right? When detergent Tide was new. I don't know why I speak backwards. Detergent Tide. So it's my little rant for the week, I guess. But again, I am a very loyal YouTube Premium subscriber, and I'm going to stay that way. Peacock, every time there's a basketball game on Peacock, like I believe it was the Boston Celtics and the 76ers game is going to be on Peacock. I have Peacock. I wish there was just everything in one. In the old days, we used to order cable, and then you'd wait like 2 weeks after you ordered it, and then the guy would come to your house, only you wouldn't be home, right? You'd be somewhere else. So then you'd have to reschedule. It'd be another 2 weeks. So after a month, you'd get this box put up on your top of your TV, cable box. And then we used to think this thing was like magic. It was like, oh man, look at this thing. And then you'd be able to watch HBO, you'd be able to watch Cinemax, you'd be able to watch ESPN, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, you name it. Everything came on that cable box. And this was before. After. Sorry. This was after we had the 3-channel setup. I was around for the 3-channel setup. This is when I used to watch Bill Laimbeer and the Pistons beat up on the Lakers on the 3-channel setup. And there was like old commercials, I come from basically what I'm telling you is that I'm old. All right. So enjoy this weekend's games again, like always. I hope you enjoyed this show. And by the way, enjoy this t-shirt, because this really, was one of the last rock and roll bands that were awesome. But, I'm into what the kids are into, right? What do you guys listen to nowadays? What, Slipknot?